morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well this fine Tuesday morning. And I have something to share with you that I've been researching, trying to find this for a long time, and I finally found it today, and I want to share it with you because I think it goes right along with this message of how can we trust God. And in today's case, it's just a hugely powerful example of somebody who has experienced a terrible, terrible event, but found the grace of God within that event and found a way to share her faith. This person's name is Mindy Corporan, and she was both the daughter and mother of two victims of a mass shooting, I believe in the year 2014, when somebody started taking people out at a Jewish community center. What I'm going to do is play for you a press conference that she held right after this event, and then talk to you just a little bit after it, okay? So hang in there. We're going to watch the press conference right now.
We're grateful that you're here. My name is Adam Hamilton. I'm the senior pastor here at Church of the Resurrection. And you're going to have a chance to hear from Mindy, whose father and whose son passed yesterday. And also you'll hear from Will, whose father passed, Mindy's brother. And Tony is also here. These three siblings are here to share with you today. And Mindy's going to begin. Mindy?
I don't have anything prepared. I was kind of told that there's a lot of media attention, and it's interesting because it's been very personal to us, obviously, but because there was so much outpouring, we didn't want to hide and not let people grieve with us. So that's why we're here. And so I guess my statement would be very similar. I said I went to a vigil last night, impromptu, because I heard that students from Reed's school would be there, and he loved school and he loved his friends, so I wanted to be there. And so what happened is Reed was going to the Jewish Community Center with my dad, who we call Popeye, and Reed named him Popeye, and he named my mom Yeye. And they were going to the Jewish Community Center for Reed to try out for Kansas City Superstar. And Reed's a freshman, and you can try out for that program when you're in high school. And he's been wanting to try out for 3 years. And this was his first time to get to try out. And he's been practicing, and he had 2 songs that he thought he might get the chance to sing 2, but the first one was On the Street Where You Live from My Fair Lady. He was dressed in a coat and tie and a black shirt and a hat. He was all ready. And then if they were going to give him a chance to sing again, he was going to sing You Will Miss Me When I'm Gone. And I was lucky enough to get to hear both of those songs before he left the house. I waited for my dad to pick him up, make sure everything was okay. And I had him sing them one more time. And I got to kiss him and tell him I loved him. And I left for a lacrosse game that got canceled then due to weather. And I left the lacrosse game and headed to the Jewish Community Center. And I didn't have my phone, but at the time I didn't need it. And when I pulled into the parking lot, I saw that my dad's truck was there and that the car doors were open. And I wondered why my dad wasn't just standing there. And as I pulled up, I saw that he was lying on the ground. And my first thought was that he'd had a heart attack. He was just lying there. But very quickly I realized that it wasn't that. And I knew that my dad was in heaven within seconds. And I ran around the truck and I saw my son lying there, and there were already 2 people with him. There were 2 men whom I don't know. And they were holding him, and I did not get a good look at him. I saw just that he seemed a little lifeless, but I did not get a significant look at him before someone named Mickey, who I'm very blessed for him, grabbed me and held me very tightly and pulled me away from the scene. And as I went into the Jewish Community Center, I saw bullet holes in the glass, and then it started to dawn on me what had happened. And I want to thank the Jewish Community Center. It was very unreal, and no one should have to go through that. But they, they were careful in locking down the location. There was a crime scene, and it didn't feel like a crime scene to me. It was my family. I had 2 family members that were lying on the ground. So I felt a lot of comfort. I felt God immediately. I prayed that Reet would survive. I prayed and prayed and prayed that he would survive. But I've later found out why he didn't. I know that they both died from head trauma. And I feel confident from what I heard that they didn't feel anything. They didn't know what was coming. They were ambushed. So it's going to be really hard. And I wanted to tell people that last night at the vigil. This isn't easy. People keep saying, how come you're so strong? And I'm strong because I have family. I'm strong because I have faith. I know that God did not do this. I know that there are evil actions. But what we do have is each other, and we have love, and we have prayer, and we have friends and family. Our phone's ringing off the hook. People from high school and college and people around the United States, and all of you here want to hear what we want to say. It was a horrible act of violence, and our dad, and my son were at the wrong place at the wrong time for a split second. And we want something good to come out of this. We don't know what that's going to be, so we want people to let us know if they think that something good has come from it. I talked to the transplant group today. That was not an easy call. And hopefully my son will be a tissue donor, possibly an organ donor. They don't know. He was 14 and he had his permit, and he had already signed up to be a donor on his own, and they knew that. And so I answered all the parent questions, and so I hope that I hear that he's able to help other people. He loved debate. He loved to debate.
Yes, he did.
He went to 7 debate contests last semester, his first semester of his freshman year. And he lettered. He got his letter, and he was very proud of that. And he planned on going to debate camp this summer. He made it into Tom Sawyer at Theater in the Park this summer. He was going to be in the cast of Tom Sawyer. So we'll have to go see that. They'll find somebody else for his role. And then he made it into Starlight Stars for the summer also. So he was up and coming. But you know what? He was with us for a wonderful 14 years. He had a really full life for a 14-year-old. And we were very blessed. I've heard from his friends, and I've talked to his best friend, and they love him too. So I hope that this is helpful to other people in the nation. I hope this is helpful to people who are grieving. You have to reach to God. You have to reach to your friends and search your soul. And that's what it's about. It's about us who are living, and it's about loving and caring for one another. Thank you.
So what did you think? I have never in my life seen somebody been given the grace that was given by God to be able to express in such a clear just a crystal clear message of her faith in God supporting her through this tragedy, and knowing that both her son and her father are with the Lord. We're talking about learning to trust in God, and it's at our weakest moments when we need to lean on Him, as I've talked about before, even more to get us through these times in our lives. I recall what God told the Apostle Paul after he had prayed 3 times for the Lord to remove this thorn in his flesh, this weakness, this whatever it was. There's a lot of speculation, if it's some kind of a physical malady or whatever it was. The Lord, Paul prayed 3 times, and the Lord would not take it away. And this was the message that God gave Paul in the end of that discourse. This is in 2 Corinthians chapter 12. And in verse 9, in the Amplified, it says this: "But he said to me," God said to Paul, "My strength and power are made perfect, fulfilled, and completed, and show themselves most effective in your weakness." So when we are at our weakest, when we are experiencing the trials and the challenges, the weaknesses of what it means to be a human being in this life, it is at those moments, as we live in faith and under the grace of God and continue on, that our testimony speaks the loudest. And so I'm just going to leave you with that thought. Remember what this precious lady had to say after both her father and her son were killed at the same time at this mass casualty, knowing that she trusts in the Lord. And she continues on in her crusade to let others know how important faith is. You can trust God even when you are at your weakest. God bless. We'll see you next time.